Welcome to the Den, the Dark Entertainment Network. I'm the Gothic Rose, and this is the dark tale of the day. Welcome back, dear fiends of the Den. As you know, the Dark Entertainment Network is a channel where the news meets conspiracy theories, makes babies in my brain, and it comes out my mouth. If you like this type of content, please like, subscribe, and hit that bell, and meet me in the Den. We are back with more haunted history of Hollywood, and if you caught my short, I just gave a brief overview of Charlie Chaplin's most iconic role as the tramp. Now, as we know, he was mentored by Fatty Arbuckle, who had lost his career and had to change his name to William Goodrich to direct and continue a career in Hollywood. And I put up a live stream where I gave a theory that Charlie Chaplin may have been the one to throw Fatty Arbuckle under the bus to become so iconic because Fatty Arbuckle gave him all the film secrets he had come up with. It's just a theory, but check it out. It's fun. But this here is Charlie Chaplin dressed as the iconic character, the tramp, which many people have compared him to Adolf Hitler. And he does have films where he has satirized him. And this is what he has to say about all of that and many other films throughout history that have also satirized Adolf Hitler. But I would like to say that satire has been a very, very powerful tool in diminishing Adolf Hitler's image and critiquing authoritarianism. So that's something we can continue in modern times, just like Larry David did when he recently wrote his satirical op ed titled My Dinner with Adolf for the New York Times. And he mocked Bill Maher's dinner with Donald Trump. And I did put up a short about that because Bill Maher obviously defended himself. He called himself a hero for dining with Trump. Now, you can dine with Donald Trump. No one has a problem with that, but that is not the definition of a hero. So, Bill Maher described Trump as gracious and measured after their meeting. All right, that's fine. But Bill Maher also responded to the op-ed, calling it insulting to 6 million dead Jews, which is just a horrible thing for him to say, arguing that comparing Trump to Hitler was inappropriate to a Jewish man. I don't get it, but that's Bill Maher. And he defended his dinner with Trump. And so many people are just saying, Bill Maher exists just for some sort of, making Bill Maher Bill Maher. I don't know what it is. But back to Mr. Chaplin. So here he is again as the tramp. Now, he created this character in 1914. And this is his most iconic character, and of course, one of the most iconic characters in cinema history at all. So the tramp is also known as the Little Tramp. This was his signature and his first appearance in kid auto races at Venice in 1914. This is also known as The Kid. This is the movie about the orphaned boy. It's a 26-minute short silent film. So, of course, he's got the tramp, his bowler hat, the toothbrush, mustache, tight coat, oversized shoes, and cane. He embodied a lovable yet mischievous vagrant who always tried to maintain the dignity of a gentleman despite his social status. So Charlie Chaplin actually created the tramp almost by accident while working at Keystone Studios. He quickly assembled a costume that would contrast in every way: baggy pants, a tight coat, and a small derby hat. The tramp became a symbol of resilience, humor, and heart, often navigating life's hardships with optimism and cleverness. Chaplin himself often reflected on the universal appeal of the tramp, noting that the character resonated because of his gentle, quiet poverty, a figure that audiences could relate to and root for. And the Tramp's legacy endures, influencing generations of comedians and filmmakers. Now, of course, I found this Vice article written by Lauren Euler. I read a little bit of it in Monday's episode, but she compares him, of course, to Adolf Hitler with the mustache, saying, they were born close together. But again, he was satirizing something that still in history has been. But he himself, Charlie Chaplin, regretted doing these satires of Adolf Hitler because he said he did not know the horrors of the Holocaust, which is true. No one did until the end of World War II, but he would not have done this as a joke, he said, but he was really the first one in history to take away that power. So other films that have really just taken Hitler's power away throughout history, inspired by Charlie Chaplin and the Tramp. So really, unintentionally, Charlie Chaplin set the tone for being able to satirize and take away power of a dictator. So some of the films are The Great Dictator in 1940, and this is Charlie Chaplin's masterpiece. And this is one of the earliest and most iconic satirical takes on Hitler. And then, of course, we have The Producers in 1967. Mel Brooks' classic comedy features a scheme to produce a deliberately offensive musical called Springtime for Hitler. It's absurd and hilarious. And if you've seen the later version with Nathan Lane and Matthew Broderick, the Hitler characters are very different. In the 1967 version, Hitler is a beatnik, and it's just a brilliant performance. I was so disappointed in the revival of The Producers with only that character not being a beatnik again. I understand it doesn't fit into modern times, but I loved that version. It was absolutely hilarious. But of course, Nathan Lane, Matthew Broderick, and Uma Thurman were fabulous in it, and so was the rest of the cast. So was who played Hitler. I'm just saying, I loved the 1967 version. It just made more sense. Then, of course, we have 2015. It's called Look Who's Back. This is a German film, and it imagines Hitler waking up in modern-day Germany and becoming a media sensation. It blends humor with sharp social commentary. And 2019's Jojo Rabbit. And this is a dark comedy that follows a young boy in Nazi Germany whose imaginary friend is a caricatured version of Adolf Hitler. So this film balances humor with poignant moments. And then we also have The Irresistible Rise of Arturo Ui, and this is 1941. A play by Bertolt Brecht that uses a gangster allegory to mock Hitler's rise to power. Downfall, 2004, parodies the famous bunker scene from Downfall, has been widely parodied online, turning Hitler's rage into comedic reinterpretations. Then we have Der Führer's Face, 1943, a Disney animated short featuring Donald Duck in a surreal Nazi nightmare mocking Hitler's propaganda. And then there's You Nazi Spy, Nazty, Spy, 1940, and I'll Never Heil Again, 1941. The Three Stooges were among the first American comedians to openly mock Hitler in film, and the Three Stooges are considered a gold standard in comedy. And then, of course, Quentin Tarantino's 2009's Inglourious Bastards, the revisionist war film, takes a violent, exaggerated approach to Nazi satire. So Charlie Chaplin himself had regret over mocking and satirizing Adolf Hitler, knowing what a horrible man he was and the atrocities that he committed. But what he really did was make history for other people to be able to mock him and take away his power. Now, of course, we get deeper into the life of Charlie Chaplin. There are some scandals, which I did mention in Monday's episode, and we will be getting to that. But without realizing it, Charlie Chaplin not only was an innovator in film, but in political satire. And I absolutely love that about that portion of his life. But we will get to the scandals because we have to be fair, we have to be balanced here in the den. And it's nothing without the dark secrets here, isn't it? So if you want to know more about the Tramp, the Kid, and all of his movies, I will be doing little shorts about them so that we can get to know a little bit more about Charlie Chaplin. If you have any tips to share with me or you'd like to be a guest in the den, please email me at welcometothedenpodcast@gmail.com. Must be 21 or over to be a guest. And again, thank you so much to everyone who is part of the den and meets me here every day. If you like this content, please let me know. Give me a shout out. Share the videos, like, subscribe, and hit that bell. Again, thank you for joining me in the den.